Assalamu alaikum. I am Dr. Amna. Today we have to discuss 1956 Constitution of Pakistan and its salient features. When we talk about Constitution of Pakistan, it was an outcome of 9 years of efforts when Pakistani politicians, Pakistani legislature, first Constituent Assembly, second Constituent Assembly compromised on certain issues which were the hurdle in constitution making process, and ultimately the outcome was 1956 constitution. This constitution provided Pakistan a status of full-fledged sovereign state. Before that we were dominion, and dominion means the head of the state was British Queen. But when we made our constitution, so we became republic, means the head of the state would be the president of Pakistan. So it was a great achievement. Though this constitution was not original in a sense that it was not totally new, it was giving a system which was already given in 1935 Government of India Act, that was adopted as the interim constitution of Pakistan. It was basically a parliamentary form of government. 1956 constitution was passed by second constituent assembly, and it was enforced into practice on 23rd March 1956. It consisted of 234 articles, 13 paras and 6 schedules, 13 parts and 6 schedules. It means that it was a long constitution. It was a long constitution because Pakistan was a newly born state, and in newly born state you have to develop structures on the basis of your constitution, and for that purpose detail was given in this constitution. So it was a long constitution. The country's name was adopted as Islamic Republic of Pakistan. It means the characteristics of the state would be Islamic. Since Pakistan was made on the basis of ideology of two nation theory, means Pakistan means Islam and other religions are different. So Muslim are different from non-Muslims. And it was not on the basis of hatred, it was on the basis of ideology. The constitution was partly rigid because it was difficult to amend frequently, so the structure of the state should not be changed altogether. The constitution of Pakistan provided a federal form of government. It was a federal form of government because Pakistan was consisted of 5 provinces and princely states, and federally administrative areas and provincially administrative areas. While it was very uneven, a big province of West Bengal, it was a big province that is called East Pakistan, and it contributed 54% of the population. And on the other hand, West Pakistan, that was consisted of 4 provinces, federally administrative areas, provincially administrative areas, and 10 princely states. And it was unprecedented in the world that Pakistan was a federation having a distance of 1600 kilometer between the two wings. So it was a distinguished feature which Pakistan was having. Powers were divided between the center and the provinces, and there were 3 lists of powers, which that was the first one was the federal list, second was provincial list, and third was concurrent list. As it is self-evident that federal list means that powers which are given to the Federation of Pakistan, provincial list means powers given to the provinces of Pakistan, and concurrent list means the list on which both federal government and provincial governments can make legislation. But when there would be clash between two legislations, then the legislation made by the central government would prevail, and provincial government would be abolished. Then we come to the system of government. It was a parliamentary form of government. Parliamentary form of government was adopted where the president was having very less powers, or he was the head of the state in name, and the prime minister was head of the government. That's why Pakistan called republic, because republic is the state system of government where the president is the head of the state. We will discuss the powers of the president after that. Legislature was unicameral. It was based on the principle of parity. Unicameral means only one house. It was again unprecedented in federations, because federation normally in federations, lower house represent the population of the country and upper house represent the units of federation. And in this way, both bigger and smaller provinces stay satisfied. But here we created a National Assembly which was consisted of 300 members, and both provinces, East and West Pakistan, were given 150 seats each. It means that before making this constitution, before imposition of this constitution, Pakistan was divided into two provinces. To create parity means equality, बराबरी दोनों के दरमियान क्रिएट करने के लिए ये किया गया कि वेस्ट पाकिस्तान को चारों सूबे और जितने एरियाज़ हमने अभी मेंशन किए थे प्रिंसली स्टेट्स को मिला के वेस्ट पाकिस्तान को एक सूबा बना दिया गया. इसको वन यूनिट कहते हैं. तो वन यूनिट इसलिए बनाया गया था कि ईस्ट और वेस्ट दो प्रोविंसेस बन जाएं और उनके दरमियान पैरिटी कायम कर दी जाए, यानी कि बराबरी. और बराबरी जो है वो रिप्रेजेंटेशन में करनी थी, रिप्रेजेंटेशन इन लेजिस्लेचर. तो इसके ज़रिए ये बराबरी कायम कर दी गई. दो वन यूनिट वॉज नॉट मेड थ्रू द कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, और इट वॉज नॉट थ्रू द it was not the outcome of discussion in the parliament, so it became unpopular immediately after its proclamation. The president of Pakistan required to be a Muslim, at least 40 years of age, and his tenure was 5 years. So it means that it was a secure office when president was to be elected for 5 years. Powers of the president. In case of internal and external danger, president can impose emergency in the country. He was authorized to appoint the governors, the judges of the Supreme Court, Auditor General of Pakistan and Advocate General of Pakistan, and all other offices of high offices of government of Pakistan. Prime Minister was the one who was actually the head of the government, and in case of parliamentary election, the majority party's leader was to be offered to become the Prime Minister of Pakistan, and he was entitled to make his cabinet consisted of the members of the National Assembly, and his cabinet was answerable to the Assembly. It means that principle of accountability was there in the Constitution. Check and balances. This is a bit new. Normally in parliamentary form of government, check and balances are not there, because Prime Minister and his cabinet is all in all in using all the executive powers. Moreover, they use powers of legislation as well, because they are enjoying majority in the house, so they have full control over the house. Ordinary members of the party cannot speak against their government, and criticism is made by the opposition only. But this constitution gave some check and balance, and President of Pakistan was not merely a figurehead, rather he was enjoying some of the powers. He was enjoying the powers to even dismiss the Prime Minister, and these powers were used by President Sikandar Mirza again and again before the imposition of martial law in 1958. Now we come to the fundamental rights. Fundamental rights were given in Pakistani constitution: right of freedom of expression, speech, freedom of movement, religion, practice of religion, etc., life, liberty and property. All these rights were given, and these rights were enforced through the judiciary, the apex court of Pakistan. And for that purpose, to ensure fundamental rights, free judiciary was inevitable and necessary. So, independent judiciary was established. The highest court was Supreme Court, and those Supreme Court was having strong grip over the judicial system of the country, and provinces have their high courts as well. Judiciary was having the power to interpret the constitution. That is called judicial review, where the constitution is silent and judiciary has to interpret, so they can review the constitution. So this is called judicial review, and that is in United States and Pakistan, both constitutions have this right of judiciary. Now we come to the Islamic provisions. Islamic provisions of the constitutions were that Holy Quran was to be made compulsory for Muslims. All citizens of Pakistan would be granted freedom of religion, practice, and propagate their religion and follow their own religion. And sovereignty belonged to Allah. Islamic way of living, Muslims should live, Islamic way of living should be exercised for the Muslim president. These are all the points, Islamic provisions were there in the constitution. But in practice, only the provision that name of the country would be Islamic Republic of Pakistan, and the president of Pakistan would be a Muslim, and there would be establishment of an Islamic Commission. All other provisions of Islamic, all other provisions which called Islamic provisions were part of principle of policy. Principle of policy were not part of the constitution. Same is the case with preamble, where the objectives resolution was placed. It was not part of constitution, because when it becomes the part of constitution, it has to be imposed with the power of the state, sovereign power of the state. So a principle of policy and preamble both were not part of constitution. So it was expected whenever there would be opportunity and situation would be situation would allow, that only then these provisions would be established. इसका मतलब है कि उसके ऊपर इम्प्लीमेंट करना फ़ौरन ज़रूरी नहीं था, बल्कि अगर मौका मिलता और स्टेट के पास ये पावर होती और स्टेट के पास हालात साजगार होते, तो वो उसके ऊपर अमल कर सकती थी. So the establishment of Council of Islamic Ideology, that was initially proposed in first constitution of Pakistan, and it was named as Islamic Commission, which was to be established within 1 year of one proclamation of constitution, and it was under Article 198 1 to 4. So it deals with Islamic Commission, but its suggestions were not binding on the government. These were only suggestions, and the ultimate authority to make the constitution and to amend the constitution and to make the laws, whether they should be under the Islamic guidance or on secular guidance, that was the power of the legislature of Pakistan, that was National Assembly. So it means that the principle of again the Islamic provisions were not part of the constitution. This commission was established, and it did not start working even when the constitution was abrogated. So this was a review of constitution of 1956 and its salient features. And this constitution was a good constitution that provided a solution to the problems which Pakistani society, Pakistani politics, and Pakistani institutions were facing at that time, and it was a compromise among different factions, but ultimately this constitution was not allowed to work, and it was abolished. It was abrogated by a military dictator. In fact, the martial law was imposed by the president of Pakistan, and the chief martial law administrator became then chief of army staff of Pakistan, General Ayub Khan. Thank you very much for today.